Hey, what's going on? Seth here. In this video, I'm going to give you a quick tour of how skip tracing works in the land portal. And in my opinion, this is one of the biggest selling points behind the land portal. If you ever need to call or email any of these property owners and you need a really quick and cheap way to do it, the land portal is one of the best options out there, and it's built into everything else you're already using. So it's pretty awesome. So first off, let's say you just find one property owner. You just want to contact that one person. Well, in the land portal, you can do that for free. It literally doesn't cost anything to do that. If we just find a random property here, let's go ahead and zoom in. And let's go here to this town. Just find one of these property owners. I'm going to blur out their information just to protect their privacy, but I'll just show you how this works. So we can click on any one of these properties here, and it's going to pop up their information over here on the left. And up here at the top, there's a skip trace button. Just click skip trace. And if we just click confirm, it's going to go out and find whatever phone numbers it can gather for that person. We can also add email addresses. If you want the possibility of finding whatever emails are associated with this owner as well, just check that. It doesn't cost anything extra to do it, so you might as well. Click confirm. And a few seconds later, we can see 2 phone numbers here and an email address. Pretty cool, huh? Didn't cost me anything to do that. You can go ahead and take that. You can call the person if you want. You can try to text them if you want to do that, or you can shoot them an email. Now, that's all good and fine, but what if you have dozens or hundreds or thousands of people that you want to skip trace in this same fashion all at once, and you don't want to go individually clicking one after the other and doing this? Well, that's what we call bulk skip tracing, and the land portal has you covered there too. So go ahead and close this out and go over here to where it says skip trace in the left sidebar, and it's going to bring us to a new page. And right up here, we can click new order. And all we got to do is upload our file. It's got to be a CSV file. And this file doesn't necessarily need to have come from the land portal. It could come from any place, as long as it has the property owner name and address and basic details. So I've got a file here that I actually got from the land portal, but I hadn't skip traced it yet. So I'm going to quick upload it here, and I'll show you how this works. So this is the file itself. You can see it looks like a typical list where we've got, APN, owner name, owner addresses, property addresses, all the stuff you'd normally expect to see. Just going to go ahead and drag that right here and click next. And we're going to start out by mapping the fields that are in our CSV file. So we're going to find, whichever ones have the last name, owner last name, put that here, owner first name, mailing address. And when you do this, you might want to go back to your original list just to make sure you're sure about the fields you're mapping. For example, when it says the mailing address, are we talking about just the street address or the full address? Just make sure you're not putting the wrong thing or putting too much information in a field that isn't actually asking for all that. So in this case, when it says mail full address, what that actually means is just the street address. So we go ahead and map that out here. Mail full address there, and then mail city. Pretty self-explanatory. Mail state, mail zip. And then we can find the property address info and put that in here too. Now, depending on where you got your list originally, you'll probably find some slight differences in the header, like it might say situs address or property address instead of partial address like this one says. So just, put 2 and 2 together, find the appropriate field, put it in there, and we're going to add email addresses to this because it doesn't cost anything extra. Might as well, right? Go ahead and click place order. And you'll notice that this is going to cost me $7.20 for 72 records, which comes out to about 10 cents per parcel. And that's the price you're going to have to pay if you don't pre-buy tokens. And I'll explain more about that in just a second. But just to show you what's going to come through on this, let's go ahead and place this order. And it's not a huge list, so it shouldn't take too long. But as you can see right here, it's processing that. So we'll check back on that in just a second. But just to explain a little bit more about buying tokens and why you might want to do this. So if you go over here to buy tokens, you're going to see a couple different options here. We can either buy 25,000 tokens, and just so you understand what a token is, 1 token equals 1 skip trace. Whether you get the phone numbers and the email or just the phone numbers, that's considered 1 skip trace. So if we want to prepay and buy 25,000 of those, under the advanced plan, it's going to cost us 7 cents per token. However, if we're willing to buy more upfront, we can get it for 5 cents per token and save a nice amount of money. So kind of depends on how much skip tracing you do in your business and how confident you are that you're actually going to need these tokens in the future. If this is like a one-time thing, then you might not want to buy any tokens. But if you're regularly in the practice of texting people or cold calling or needing their phone numbers and email addresses for any reason, there's a pretty good argument to be made for prepaying for tokens like this. Now, keep in mind, if you sign up for one of the higher end plans, like the Pro plan, then the pricing on this is going to change to 6 cents or 4 cents. So you'll get an even better deal. And if you sign up for the Enterprise plan, it gets even cheaper than that. And it's more of a case-by-case basis depending on how much skip tracing you do. So just be aware, if you're somebody who just goes nuts with skip tracing, you can potentially get it for very, very cheap, along with all the other features and capabilities of the land portal all in one system, depending on which plan you sign up for. Now let's go quick check on the status of this skip trace order and see what came through. All right, so we just click on this thing and we can download it as a CSV or Excel file. You'll also notice over here, it looks like it only was able to find 58 out of the 72 property owners we were trying to skip trace. If it's not able to find anything, then you're not going to get charged for it. It doesn't cost you any tokens for those. Just be aware of that. So let's go ahead and download the CSV file again. And now we'll see how this looks. So I'm going to be blurring out a lot of stuff on this screen just to protect the identity and phone numbers of these people. But just trust me, a lot of phone numbers came through. So starting over here on the left, we can see the primary phone number, and it looks like it has those on just about all of them. There is this one here where they were able to get an email address and not a phone number. So it's kind of rare, but sometimes that happens. And it looks like most of these have a alternative phone number, and then alternative phone number 2, alternative phone number 3, number 4, number 5. The further it goes, the less of them actually have, a third and fourth and fifth phone number. I mean, usually that first phone number is what you're going to have the most luck with anyway. I'd say by and large, the first 1 or 2 phone numbers is all you ever really need. And you can also see that looks like about maybe 30 to 40% of these people came back with email addresses. So, a lot of them don't have that, but if they do, you might as well just ask for it if you have any plans of using that in the future. And then when you scroll over here to the right, you can see the rest of the list just as we originally uploaded this thing. So, it's a pretty inexpensive way to skip trace lists in bulk like this if you prepay for those tokens. Even if you don't, it's not the worst pricing I've seen, but you'll really save a lot of money if you buy those tokens up front in bulk, and especially if you sign up for one of those higher tier plans. That's when you'll get the best deal by far. But of course, the monthly cost on those plans is more as well. So it's up to you to kind of figure out where you stand on that and which one makes the most sense for you if you have a need for skip tracing in your business at all. But if you do, you ought to know about the land portal. It's an awesome tool even without skip tracing, but the fact that they do have skip tracing built into the whole workflow at a really decent price is just a huge added bonus that you ought to know about. If you want to give the land portal a try, you can sign up through our affiliate link, retipster.com/land portal. And if you sign up for the advanced plan and use coupon code Seth at checkout, you'll get 1,000 free exports with your new account. I'll have a link beneath this video, or you can also scan the QR code that you see right now on the screen. I hope you find it super helpful, and I'll talk to you next time.